Hey folks, this is Danny from Stuff I Kinda Care About, and today I am back. I just got back from vacation on Sunday, and I am ready to work on more projects. I got to meet a lot of awesome people in Florida, had a blast down there, and got inspired to come back and be creative. So what I'm going to be working on, I'm going to start kind of designing out a really rad messenger bag that I'm going to be making for a friend of mine. So essentially what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of draw everything out. I'm going to figure out about the dimensions I want this thing to be, which this is 17 inches. So I think it's probably going to be about this wide. I'm not going to do any pockets on the very front of this thing. Like those like buckle pockets that you see a lot of times. It's just going to be probably 2 compartments, pretty simple. I haven't really done stuff like this before, so I want to make sure that I can do this well. The kind of profile of the bag that I'm looking for is going to be a little bit like this. So I'm going to need, this is going to be one front panel, but I actually want the bag to stand a little bit higher than this. So I'm actually going to have 2 front panels, and then this is going to be like a slim line just for some quick paperwork front panel. I'm going to have basically like buckles attached here. I know this is really horrible buckle drawings, but I don't really care. On the sides of this, I'm going to have little flaps coming out for D-rings so that I can do a full strap for this thing. So what I have to kind of break down is how exactly I'm doing this. So if I've got this smaller front panel, and I'm probably going to want it to be about the size of this piece of paper, just probably going to just kind of casually cut these off like that, sure, just to kind of give it that more rounded bottom. Essentially what's going to happen is I'm going to have one piece of leather, which will be this front part, and then I'm going to have another piece kind of directly behind that, and then I'm going to have probably one big piece that's this way, and it's going to go all the way around everything, and I got to figure out how long that's going to be, and then I'm going to do another piece for the back. So if I draw this a little bit smaller, what I would like to have happen is the back to kind of do this and have it be one big piece that's just going to be stitched up along this seam here. And then the top will just flap over, and I'll have little straps there that'll buckle into these. Pretty simple. I just want one larger compartment in the middle of it, and then I'm going to have this smaller flap up front. Today, what I'm trying to do is really simply kind of develop a pattern for this. So I know that I want this to be, let's make it 17 inches across here. Let's say for the front part, we're going to go, let's go with 10 inches. Sorry, to there. And then this will be 2 inches here. And so the whole thing will actually be 12 inches tall, 17 inches wide. This is going to be massive bag. Holy crap. Cool. Straps, like buckles, hardware, all that stuff, I'm going to figure out a little bit further down the line. Right now, I really just want to get this pattern made up. So I know that I need a couple of pieces, 17, basically 17 by 12. I'm going to need 3 of those pieces. So I'm going to go ahead and get my paper and cut those out, and we can go from there. I've got 3 pieces. This is going to be my front pouch, and it is going to be sewn directly to this middle piece here. I'm going to deal with these corners in a minute and figure out exactly how I want to round those off. So these are going to get attached together. There's going to be a piece of leather that runs all the way around here, and then this is going to get attached on the back. So it's a pretty simple design. The piece of leather in the center is going to have little straps on it, like what I did with the fanny pack. I'm going to have a big strap coming off of there. This back piece, though, what I have to figure out is if this... Oh, man, that's what I messed up. Cool. I can figure that out. That's not a problem. I need to cut one of these to 17 inches wide. This is super fun and not terrifying at all. All right, so I've got this giant piece. I've got these pieces. And to be perfectly honest with you, like, the exactitude with which they match up isn't the most important thing. I'm going to remeasure everything on the leather eventually, and do it that way. I just really want to make sure that this works as like a proof of concept, and then we can figure it out from there. So if I'm allowing myself a good bit of fold over, I can trim this shorter if I need to up front. All right, so I've found what I want to use, and it's actually the lid to my saddle soap. And this works really nicely. So I've got these corners transferred over here. I have to do that to one edge of this as well, and then I have to do it to this one. All right, so everything's cut. Now the fun fact is that I actually have to measure this. So measuring this stuff isn't super easy. So I'm going to go to the beginning of this curve. And I'm just going to kind of roll this pattern over the curve, kind of allowing it to follow the curve pretty naturally. So now that I've got that kind of mapped out, then I can bring this down and know that here we're at 26. 27. 28. 29. And then I just take that 29 and I size it up on my 19. And I go, so 39 and a quarter. I do want to have flaps on this thing. Do I? I don't know. No, I don't. I don't want to have flaps on this thing. So what I'm probably going to do, just to be sort of careful, and I've been thinking about this, if this is the strip that's going between the pieces, I've been thinking about actually doing something like this, so that this part is pulled into the seam on both sides, and that it kind of stands out like that. And I really like that scooped feel. And that also gives you a spot to hold some pens. You know, you want to put some pens on there. So now, what's going to happen is it's going to get a little weird because it's going to go from 2-dimensional to 3-dimensional very, very quickly. First thing I'm going to do is kind of line this up and slap a couple of clips in this world, just to kind of tell this thing like, hey, this is where you belong. I'd kind of like you to stay together as I work on the rest of this. And I just really want to line up these two corners, kind of make these edges flush. And then I really only want to do like a little tiny 1/4 inch on these clips. Sorry I'm not working in like the best place to show you what's happening, but you'll start to see it in a minute. Okay, so I've got the front part done. Now I'm gonna have to add in the back part. Wow. Okay, so that just came together. So that's the bag. This lid is definitely a little bit too big. I'm gonna probably end up pulling it back about 3 full inches, maybe even 4. But that bag's together, and I've made a pattern. So now I'm gonna make a couple of revisions to it, but I know it works. I love the look of it. The question is, do I even want to make it so that it can buckle shut, or do I want to just leave it like a loose flap like that? Because I kind of love the look of that. I might just leave it like a loose flap. I don't know yet. I wanted to say something before I go any further with this project or any other project. Thank you for watching. You folks are rad. I really, really appreciate you watching me just be a freaking idiot on this channel. Try to learn new stuff, try to develop new skills, and in general, just see what I can make out of life. So thank you. You watching means a ton to me. This bag, I'm happy with where the pattern is. I'm going to leave it alone for the night. I'm done with the mistakes that I made on the fanny pack where I took this pattern and just kind of ran headfirst into making with it and said, oh yeah, this will definitely work. I'm going to have to do some serious thinking. I'm going to have to do some serious laying out of where holes for stitching are going to go. I have to think about whether I want these edges here to be proud, like sticking out, like they are right now, which is a pretty cool look, or if I essentially want this to be backwards. So it's like, I would turn it inside out and kind of have softer, rounder edges. I don't have a clue yet, so I'm going to figure all that out. Thank you for watching. Please consider hitting that subscribe button if you're interested in what I'm doing on this channel. If you don't know what I'm doing on this channel, leave me a comment. I will make a video for you to know what I'm doing on this channel. I'm an idiot. All right, so that's it. Thanks for hanging out, folks. Have a wonderful weekend, and I will catch you next time. Finger guns.